What are you always playing on that thing for?
What else am I supposed to do on a 3-hour road trip?
How about a conversation with me? Verbal communication. The sharing of information via the mouth. You remember that?
Yeah.
Now, if you're new to my channel, folks, you know you've come here for one reason and one reason only. It's not just my pretty face that entices you, but you know my views on comic books, TV shows and films, and how they have been slowly infiltrated by woke and political ideology. Like some of my subscribers have said, they feel very detached now. They don't know what is going on. And boy, don't even get me started on the Florida bill. But what I'm going to talk to you about today, I watched 2 classic Australian films in the last few days, the second of which will be coming up maybe today or tomorrow. I'm trying to make this a Castlemaine. Couldn't give a 4x double bill of Australian movies, but the one I would like to talk about, and of course, as a little bit of a drum roll and a bit of a preamble, of course, it is Kia and Tristan Roach Turner, the boys behind Wyrmwood from 2014, Road to Hell. Of course, they've actually followed that up now with a sequel called Apocalypse, which is going to be out in the next couple of months on Blu-ray. Australia, if you don't know, they make completely bonkers movies. Just like the Kiwis, they have a deranged sense of humor.
Hey man, you gonna do something crazy?
It's not role-playing, is it?
What the fuck is role-playing?
And for that, I applaud them. But the film I want to talk about today, it was out in 2018, and it is called
I've come for your soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight live in the studio, professional stuntman Leo Wanker is about to throw down the gauntlet and prove himself to be the greatest escapologist in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leo Wanker.
This is Duke Nukem. If you're looking for a douchebag to save the day, then try Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog. All right, now where are the babes?
This film is It's a gem. It's just something very, very special. I suspect if aliens visited Earth and they saw this as their form of entertainment, they would not be disappointed. Now, what's really familiar about the movie from a deja vu point of view is the poster on my right-hand side. Now, if you see the lead actor, Ben O'Toole, yes, he does look like Robert Downey Jr., who played Iron Man in 2008. This film feels like I'm back in 2008. They even use the color filters. They even have a cube in the movie that reminds me of the Tesseract cube. I mean, how bonkers can you get? And for that, I love it. Now, I've not watched the Blu-ray yet. I don't know on the audio commentary if the RD jokes have been hinted at. I'm pretty sure people in various community forums have commented on this. But bearing in mind, I watched this film a few days ago, that is the immediate thoughts that came to my mind. Also, another big surprising factor about this film, Monica Bellucci. Yes, Mrs. Vincent Cassel herself is in this movie. She dominates the proceedings for about 30% of the movie's runtime, which is actually more than what she did in Spectre from Sam Mendes, because we were hoping with her heavenly body on those beautiful curves, she'll be making more than just a spectacle of herself in Spectre. But guess what? We had her on screen for about 15 minutes and then off she went. But I'll say one thing about Monica Bellucci, what she has in common with Gina Carano, they're proper women, and she has a proper good time in this movie. But Ben O'Toole, I mean, what a great guy. I mean, he's a good actor, looks like Robert Downey Jr. Does Robert Downey Jr. have an Australian brother he's never told us about? So who knows? That could be worth investigating. But he plays this reluctant demon slayer. And when I say reluctant, his best friend gets him into trouble. His best friend is on a mobile phone, constantly looking at this demonic game that you can play for free. And I guess that's kind of a little stab at the mobile phone, a video game industry at the moment, where it seems to be, look, when I walk down the street, all I see is like mindless zombies on their phone, like, are you? But once his friend gets him into trouble and now he becomes this super demonic slayer, he doesn't want to use his powers. Not until he meets two sisters called Torkel and Molly, and their father, David Wyrmwood, who you know as one of the dudes in 300 with Gerard Butler as Leonidas. So once he meets up with this trio, it's one of those things whereby you think the females are going to be unbearable, insufferable, the whole 9 yards. Guess what? They're not. In fact, they encourage him to get used to his powers, to embrace things.
I can't. I'm gonna shit my pants. I'm gonna shit my pants.
When things go wrong, no party blames the other. It's like, let's try again. How many films in Hollywood do you see that happening? None at all. Remember Shang-Chi, where the invincible sister came on and just kicked Shang-Chi in the nuts, and that was it. We don't even see how she became powerful. And don't even get me started on Ray Palpatine either. But this film is a smorgasbord of popular IPs like Ghostbusters and The Exorcist, and coming for your soul, you grab. And of course, what's really telling about this movie, certain parts of Australia, you see these things on telephone lampposts called necropods. I mean, that name alone will just send the heebie-jeebies down my brittle spine. And the action is fast, it's crazy, it's bloody, and when certain illogical things happen, they make it very logical, and I love that. And that's what I like about this film. It has a really cool 2008 filter. It knows that it's bonkers, but it actually keeps you on the straight and narrow. Unexpected things happen, and that's great. That's what I want from my movies. And of course, when I looked at IMDb, I believe it scored a 5.6 out of 10, and I think that's just a detriment to the fact that this film, not many people know about it, and that's just such a shame, because you got to think about it. In 2018, what was dominating the cinema? Probably a few Marvel movies, maybe the odd DC movie. So this will be left on the wayside. What a shame. But what I think now, with the backlash against Hollywood and its woke ideology, it's making people go back to find out what they've missed in between. So that's why I'm talking about Nekrotronic. Now, as I mentioned just previously, this film scored a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb due to some very unfavorable reviews. And of course, I thought I'll actually look at one of the reviews and delved a little bit further and found some interesting things. So Dennis Harvey of Variety wrote, "Maximum energy meets zero originality to numbing effect in a horror action comedy mishmash." Now, I decided to Google Dennis Harvey of Variety, and this is where it took me to, which I thought was pretty hilarious. So yeah, that is the gorgeous, the stunning, the sexy Carey Mulligan, very accomplished actress, and she was appalled at Dennis Harvey's stabs at her and accused him of being a misogynist. Now, if you want to know what the fuss is about, Carey Mulligan appeared in this film, which I've not yet seen, but I do want to. I've been told to watch it, called Promising, or A Promising Young Woman. And as you can tell by that outfit there, she certainly will deliver on that promise. And with that implement and with that sexy nurse's outfit, I will not say boo to a goose. So what was the thing that Dennis Harvey said about Carey Mulligan in his film? Basically, she was an odd choice to play, wait for it, a femme fatale. Carey Mulligan saw red. Can you blame her? She went after Dennis Harvey. This is his response. It is pretty hilarious, and I just have to read this bit out to you because I couldn't believe this was even said. "I'm a 60-year-old gay man. Gay bar, gay bar. I don't actually go around dwelling on the comparative hotness of young actresses, let alone writing about that." The thing I like to say to you, Mr. Harvey, is whatever way you lean, in this case we know that you're gay, is that you shouldn't use that as an excuse to veil your apparent alleged misogyny. Same if you're a woman, and if you had a particular misandry towards men, you wouldn't use your sexual persuasion to say, well, that made me go that way, or it's just a way to cover up my actual views. Do you see where I'm going with this, people? So if you enjoyed my little throwback today to Nekrotronic. Make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you get your Castlemaine 4X and throw it at the subscribe button. And if I were you, I would check me out on my next video.
But who's gonna have your back when it's all done? So good when you lift it up, you're fun. Come, we are push on what about the long one? Big Oak City!
Girl, you're my angel.
Yeah.
You're my darling angel.
Shaggy!